Hello everyone, my name is Amol and today in this video I am going to give you a brief on geomatics and its various disciplines. Geomatics in general is a short form of two words, geo which means earth and matics which refers to the information related to the earth. It is a new term nowadays which was formerly known as survey. It is basically a systematic approach for selecting the different instruments or equipments and techniques for collecting, storing, integrating, modeling, analyzing, retrieving, transforming, displaying, and distributing the geospatial information which is collected from different sources with well-defined accuracy in digital format. Broadly, there are 10 disciplines of geomatics as you see on the screen: computer science, geodesy, topography, cartography, photogrammetry, remote sensing, GNSS, GIS, web GIS, and laser scanning system. The first discipline is computer science. It studies the algorithms that describes and transforms the information. It is basically about the hardware and software which is used for generating and storing the geospatial information. Geodesy is the next discipline of geomatics, which deals with the shape and dimension of the Earth in relation to the external gravitational field. It is basically defines the reference surfaces such as ellipsoid, which is a mathematical representation of Earth in the form of an ellipse, and the geoid, which is nothing but the representation of the mean sea level. It is very interesting to know how the Greek scientist, his name is Eratosthenes, he uh, he could determine the shape and size of the earth 2000 years before Christ using his logical thinking and simple methods. There are numerous videos available on YouTube, and I will recommend all of you to see that story of that Greek scientist and how he determined the shape and size of earth 2000 years before Christ. Topography is the next discipline of geomatics. It is again a combination of two words, topo, which means place, and graphia means writing. It describes the graphical and metric description of sites on the Earth's surface, such as mountains, hills, rivers, lakes, valleys, plains, any man-made and natural feature. Cartography is nothing but the art of making maps, and the person who makes these maps is called as a cartographer. The International Association of Cartography, ICA, which is the world leading organization of cartography, defined it as a discipline which deals with the conception, production, distribution, and study of maps. Photogrammetry is defined as the process of deriving metric information about an object through measurements of the object made on photographs. The measurements can be in the form of 2D, two dimension, which is X and Y, and three dimension, which is X, Y, and height. XY refers to easting, northing, or latitude, longitude. The diagram over here shows how a 3D model is generated using the aerial photographic technique. So over here you see that between the two successive photographs taken from the aerial platform has a 60% of overlap, minimum 60% of overlap between them. And this 60% overlap constitutes towards the generation of a 3D model. The successive photographs is a stereo pair. On the right hand side, the first diagram shows a pocket stereoscope and below that it shows a lens stereoscope. Nowadays, technology has evolved and we have this photogrammetry in digital format where you can simply wear a 3D glass and see the features in digital format in 3 dimension. You can also do measurements and you can also do digitization of various features. Remote sensing is another discipline of geomatics, which is the science and art of obtaining information about objects, areas, and phenomena through the data acquired from satellites. The word remote means capturing information about Earth and its features without being in physical contact. Over here, you can see the sun rays travel through the atmosphere, different layers of atmosphere, and it hits the various features on the Earth, such as buildings, trees, roads, hills, and gets reflected back, which is collected by the sensors in the satellite. This data is then processed through the antennas on the ground and then can be used for computer analysis in the form of satellite images. GNSS stands for Global Navigation Satellite System. It is a system which consists of the three segments, which are space segment, control segment, and the space user segment. Space segment is nothing but the arrangements of satellites in space. The control segment consists of the master control station, which is in USA, the ground antennas, and the monitoring sites. GNSS is broadly classified into two based on its coverage. The regional coverage consists of two GNSS, which is IRNSS and QZSS. IRNSS stands for Indian Regional Navigation Satellite System, which is also called as NAVIC nowadays. And the other one is from Japan, which is called Quasi-Zenith Satellite System. The four global coverage GNSS are GPS, which is Global Positioning System from USA, GLONASS from Russia, Galileo from Europe, and BEDO or Compass from China. The most popular and widely used GNSS is GPS. So GPS, as I said in the previous slide, is a global positioning system. It is designed, developed, and maintained by the United States of America. Uh, it was first designed for the military purpose, but in 1980, it was it started for the use started for the public. So it is having 31 satellites in space, and all the time 24 satellites are in operation. 7 satellites are used as a spare. It has 6 orbits, and in each orbit we have 4 satellites. The 6 orbits are placed 60 degrees apart, and they are inclined 55 degrees to the equatorial plane. The signals sent by the satellite are picked up by the users, and by measuring the uh, time between the signal sent and the received, it is received by the user, multiplying it with the speed of the signal, which is the speed of light. The distance between the satellite and the receiver is computed, and with the technique trilateration, the position of the receiver is determined. To measure the position in 3D, at least 4 satellites are needed. If you want to measure position in 2 dimension, 3 satellites will work. Geographic Information System, GIS, it is a tool to collect, store, recall, transform, and present georeference information. It allows complex analysis of large amount of georeference data. It is a very powerful tool which is also used for decision-making purpose. Some of the common softwares which are available in market or used by different industries is ArcGIS. Nowadays, the open source technology is in demand, and QGIS is a very good software. This is the structure of GIS. Basically, it overlays different kinds of information, and then uh, the combined effect can be studied for decision making. WebGIS is nothing but the advanced form of GIS where the information resides on the internet. The common WebGIS platforms which we use nowadays is the Google Earth or say the maps, Google Maps. Laser scanning system is again a new addition to the discipline of geomatics. It allows the reproduction of the 3D image of an object or a surface through the use of laser source. It generates a point cloud, which is nothing but a three-dimensional position XYZ. It works on the principle of LIDAR. LIDAR stands for light detection and ranging. It has three forms. The first form is static laser scanner. In this case, the laser is stationary at one point and it collects the point cloud 360-degree around it. This is basically very useful for indoor applications. The second one is mobile laser scanner. This is relatively new technology where the sensor or the scanner is mounted on the top of a vehicle, and with the movement of vehicle, the data is collected 360 degrees around. This particular technology is very useful for municipalities or road authorities to map their assets around the road or to determine the cracks on the road. The third one is the data collection from uh, airborne position. So airborne laser scanner. So this gives you a DEM or a DSM for the area. DEM stands for digital elevation model and DSM stands for digital surface model. In this slide, you can see the point clouds for various features on Earth. The first on the top left side is the point cloud for a tree, and below you can see the point cloud for various light poles. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this information, please give a thumbs up. Do not forget to comment. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so that you will get the notifications of my forthcoming videos on time. Thank you very much.